Consider the following patterns. So I'm giving 4 sequences. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 there. And the question is, which pattern is geometric? So we have to understand what makes something geometric versus arithmetic versus some other thing, okay? So a geometric sequence is a sequence that either grows or decays by some common ratio. So a geometric has a common ratio. Geometric sequence has a common ratio. So how do we determine this common ratio? Well, what you do is you're going to take any 2 terms in the sequence, and they have to be adjacent terms. So n plus 1 compared to a sub n. So you're going to take the latter term and divide it by the previous term, and what should happen is, with each successive pairs of terms, this ratio has to hold, and we call that the common ratio. We call that R. So looking at this, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, for option 1, I'll use another color now. So for option 1, what we do is we're going to take negative 12, divide by 16. Is this the same thing as 9 over negative 12? Is this the same thing as negative 6.75 over 9? And as a matter of fact, it is. All of this will equal to negative 3/4. Okay, so the common ratio for option 1 there is negative 3/4. What about 2? And actually the answer is option 1, so that is 1. But let's go through it anyway, right? Option 2, I have 1, 4, 9, and 16. Well, 4 over 1, is that the same thing as 9 over 4? You can clearly see that that's not the case here, right? And if you don't see it, you can simply cross multiply here, and you can see that 4 times 4 and 9 times 1, they're not the same. Whereas in the previous case, right, 16 times 9, that's 144. Negative 12 times negative 12, that is 144. That does hold, right? So they're not the same. All right, what about option 3? I have 18 over 6. Well, that's easy. That's just 3, right? Is that the same thing as 30 over 18? Clearly not the case. So again, that ratio doesn't hold. And what about option 4? I have 1/2 to 2/3, right? So if I divide 2/3 by 1/2, is that the same thing as 3/4 divided by 2/3? Well, let's see here. 2/3 divided by 1/2, that is equivalent to 4/3. And is this the same thing as 3/4 divided by 2/3? That turns into 9/8, right? Is that the same thing? Clearly, again, this is not the same. So again, one more time, the only one that does work is option 1.